your skin, a pulse of light, let it begin. The night dissolves, the day will spin. Rise, awakenings, hear the call. Through the static, we break the wall. Your station, your voice, where dreams awaken and climb. Rise, awakenings, now is the time. Echoes bloom, they bend and glide. A signal surging deep inside. From shadows grip, we rise and rise. Tune the whispers, find your way. Tomorrow starts with sound today. Rise, awakenings, hear the call. Through the static, we break the wall. Your station, your voice, where dreams awaken and climb. Rise, awakenings, now is the time.
Hey, this is Brindlewolf.
And I'm Lunaria.
You're listening to Rise Awakenings, part of the Rise Radio Network where advice meets action.
We're here to spark your growth, lift your spirit, and help you crush your potential.
Rise Awakenings, hear the call. Through the static, we break the wall. Your station, your voice, where dreams awaken and climb. Rise Awakening, now is the time. Rise Awakenings, let's rise together.
From the very moment each of us are born, taught what we see, how to feel, how to act, how to keep it real, and the difference between love and scorn. Old traditions to the values they hold dear. A cycle never breaks, show respect and fear. Told how to be, how to love, blaming their direction on the one above. Can they be blamed for what they couldn't see? There was a different, better way to be. Can I be guided away from the tears? Generational scars that brought so many tears. Can I break the mold from the parents of the past? Cut it off, wanna stop, can I be the last? Under all the racket, couldn't hear my own voice, mimicking the rules, echoing the noise. The rules I never felt of the parents of the parents. Do I have another choice? Yeah. Caught in the moment of giving old advice, borrowed their reactions, paid generational scars that brought so many tears. Can I break the mold from the parents of the past? Cut it off, wanna stop, can I be the last? It's Brindlewolf and Diane, so listen up if you can. Yeah, journey with them today as they help you find your way. Oh, mental wellness is the topic of the hour. Mental health and the power to tap into our alignments will lead to our refinements. Phoenix Talk, a show like you've never seen. Phoenix Talks, awareness that has never been. Phoenix Talks with Brindlewolf and Diane. Phoenix Talks, so tune in if you can.
Phoenix Talks.
Hello.
Oh. It keeps doing that. There we go.
Oh, that's better.
It's much better that way. Yes.
I'm going to be looking in this direction for most of it because I like to look at you and you're over there.
And you're way over. Oh, there.
I need to move the camera so like, and I look like I'm ignoring everyone.
That's all right. That's all right. Welcome everybody into Phoenix Talks. As we said, I am Brindlewolf and my lovely co-host,
Rev
D.
Hello, everyone.
And if you are in the live chat, thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out with us for the next hour. If you're listening to the replay, thank you so much for clicking those buttons and hearing what we have to say. Tonight, we have a difficult conversation to have. And it was brought to us by one of our viewers who I'm going to read because I asked, okay, could you expand on what it is that you want us to talk about? And as you can tell from the song, it's about generational karma and trauma. So here's what she had to say. Breaking habits are patterns we adopt from our upbringing, especially ones that don't serve us for our personal growth. For instance, when I was a new parent struggling to find balance, I found myself adopting old parental practices from my grandparents' generation. I had to realize this was a reflex based on what I had grown up being told a parent needed to do, or a child needed to be like. And it did not actually resonate with my core beliefs. I realized I needed to find better tools that would better serve me and my children. I feel we all grow up thinking when our parent scolds us or punishes us too harshly, we think, when I grow up, I'm not going to be like that. But even then, most tend to fall into patterns of learned behavior. I was like, oh, so from the parents, which turned into, can I be the last?
Yes. I love that. You did beautifully with that song. That's amazing.
Thank you.
It was spot on and perfect. So when I saw this deeper explanation and the example that she used, I can so relate to. I'm a mom and I did the best I could and I didn't do the things that my parents did, but as the generational trauma deciphering journey struggle goes, the pendulum is going to swing. So where I couldn't stand what they did, I did the exact opposite, also not healthy.
Yeah.
I feel the pain and the desperation of that very specific example, because as a parent, I can honestly say I know some of the issues that my children now have to heal from came from me repeating what I was told a parent is supposed to do and what good parenting is and how children are supposed to behave. So let's unpack aside from this one example, the general idea that our parents and grandparents had, that we fall in line and they tell us how to do things and we follow suit because that's how it's been for generations and generations. Why has it been that way? Because lack of access to information. It's just been do what you're told and that's it. And
Because I said so.
there's a lot of that, but we have access to the internet now. So now we know, okay, this doesn't resonate with me and I can learn something new. I can see what there is that's different than all of this that doesn't make any sense and doesn't fit now. So I think the first part about helping yourself break generational trauma and habits is to number one, be compassionate towards the understanding that that's for you to discern what feels right to you. And there's no shame in not knowing and what you hadn't yet learned. And so that's where the compassion piece comes in, because we end up carrying this unnecessary guilt and regret and all that ridiculousness that keeps us stuck in those unhealthy cycles. The best gift you can give yourself to break all generational traumas is learn how to regulate your emotions and make yourself feel safe in your own nervous system. That's a very short answer for a very long discussion. Let's break that down.
Do we have time?
I don't know.
I love what Polyjammers just said. I took myself to parenting classes. Turns out there are instruction manuals, despite what I was told.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I want to reword that just a hair. Because every child is going to be different. Every parenting situation is going to be different. So they are instruction or they're suggestion manuals. If you encounter this, perhaps try this. Because one thing that resonates for me when it comes to breaking the generational repeats is we already have an instruction manual. We need the suggestion manual of how we can do things differently.
Yeah. There are programs out there and I know that folks poo-poo on gentle parenting, but the premise of gentle parenting is that your nervous system is relaxed. And that's for that specific topic. I know this is talking about like any topics, and that was just an example.
Right.
But on that topic specifically, because you know what, there are parents who are listening. There are programs out there. And the gentle parenting, nurtured heart. There are different things to teach you how to address and nurture your child's curiosity and development of life skills through learning and patience. Actually, doing those things is harder than just getting impatient and doing what our parents did. What our parents did was they ain't got time for this shit. Let's go. The healthy way to do things that you see in the suggestion manuals or instruction manuals are based on you having your nervous system relaxed so that you can respond to their age appropriate curiosity and developmental stage. Children are like little scientists. They're going to make a mess and it's going to be a big mess and they're going to be curious about everything and they're going to do dangerous things cautiously if you let them. You know, there's a way to help them learn how to do things, but it requires you to be regulated and patient.
Right.
So that's at the core of that part, but that's also at the core of every other part. That your nervous system needs to be regulated. Our parents, our grandparents, generations past, nobody was regulated. They're all a damn mess.
Now, I'm not saying that I am or that I'm a, well-versed professional when it comes to parenting, because I will admit I wasn't a good one. I wasn't abusive, but I also wasn't a good parent. And if I were running one of those programs and somebody came in and said, "Can you teach me how not to be my parents?" or anything along those lines, I would look at them and say, "Well, your first step is to never say that again." Because by simply saying, "I don't want to be my parents," causes you to form connections in your subconscious so that you do exactly what you don't want. And it might not look the same. It might be a little bit different than what you might have gone through and how you don't want to be. However, it's still going to have that same energetic of what you don't want to be. And because it will be something that you have decided. How do you change that? Think differently. This is how I want to be, not how I don't want to be. Because focusing, this is just like anything when it comes to intentions, manifestation, moving forward, changing things.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want? And focus in on that when it is, and in this case, breaking that generational bullshit that you don't want to carry into the next generation.
Right. I can vouch for what you're saying because at the time when I wasn't consciously aware of myself and practicing what I practice now, I would absolutely say I don't want to be like them, and I don't want to do what they did with me. I don't want my kids to have the same experience that I had. Well, guess what? I kind of gave them the same experience, but a little bit different because it, was different circumstances and different decisions. But the core wounds become the same. I still didn't address their actual needs. I still didn't address feeding and fostering the stages of their development the way I was supposed to. Now, granted, I was in survival mode, so that's where compassion comes in. Survival mode, and it's easier to do what you're told and just follow suit when you're in survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
And I think most of us are in survival mode when we're parents anyway. If we aren't equipped with the skills and the tools to be a relaxed parent. But let's aside from that topic, I know Lunari says numerous wooden spoons were broken on me. I thought only Italians use the spoons. What do you mean?
Yeah, I was just eyeing the list of different forms of corporal punishment from parent to child in the chat, and I'm just like, wow.
I will tell you, my mother has great aim.
So did my dad.
Shoes, spoons, you name it.
And what's amazing is that most of the people that are going to see this, listen to it, are coming out of Generation X, or they are kids from where Generation X is trying to, most of our generation is trying to move away from all of this karmic debt and tradition from the generations before, because a lot of that, while we survived, we're doing great, most of us. At the same time, we look back and like, oh, I could have done that different.
Yeah.
So the one right after us is that bridge to moving forward and helping to break the chains, the cycles, the trauma.
Right. Right. And it does start with you regulating your nervous system. It does start with you learning emotional regulation. It does start with how you respond to circumstances and situations around you. And if you're coming from that heart-centered space and doing it from that place of learning and improving continuously, you'll be okay. What Michka said is right. Don't focus on what you don't want. Focus instead on what you do want. And if you don't know what you do want because you don't know what it looks like, we have the internet and they haven't started regulating it yet. So expand your knowledge as much as possible. But then we also have the generational issues in all other aspects of life. Like, what about jobs? Because I think you're talking about like in life general, right? If I'm not mistaken, not just that one. What about jobs? The old way was you stick to a company for 25, 30 years. Like there's a loyalty thing. Now it's like you change your job as much as you change your underwear. It's a different world we live in. So you can't carry over. We live in a different world. The information and the knowledge that we have in front of us is different. So I think at the root of everything is compassion for yourself
Yeah.
as you're learning what is healthier. And it's okay if you don't know. How the hell would you know if you've never seen it? That's why we have information at our fingertips and why we have the ability to expand ourselves if we choose. Because we just go and find what that looks like. There's plenty of things on social media that are going to show you something different and teach you something different. Whether it's, you're laughing, that means you're reading something funny.
I'm reading Karen's comment. We say stick them behind the wallpaper or go to bed without your socks. Now I changed those easy. I don't want to have bumps there, and they don't like wearing socks. So the image of that.
I can only imagine. But I think the reality is we have to give ourselves permission to move through shifting the paradigm ourselves. And you mentioned Generation X before. Honestly, I think Generation X is like, we're the ones who grew up with that old system growing up with no information, no new information available because there was no internet. So we're the ones who were like, oh, fuck, look at all this shit we're learning on the internet. Oh, crap. I got to apologize to my kids and tell them I fucked up. I got to do things differently now and shift my entire damn mindset because that's not what I was taught when I was 17. You know what I'm saying? Like everything in life has to be reevaluated. We talk about reevaluation all the time. You got to have compassion while you're reevaluating and just allow yourself to evolve and grow with whatever the world looks like today. You know?
Yeah.
You know?
I know. All of these long comments in the chat, and I'm trying to focus on you and them.
I can't read them that fast. Yes. So
And protecting with knowledge and guidance is very much key. Because I'm seeing a couple examples in the chat of a couple of ladies experiencing some things when they were growing up, and they're trying to protect their children from that. Empowering them with knowledge.
absolutely age appropriate knowledge, because I did that with my kids. They were really, really young when they learned about where not to be touched.
And guys, don't apologize for your long comments. No, we welcome them. It just takes a moment to read them and pay attention at the same time. But don't ever apologize for adding to the conversation. We appreciate the input.
Yes, absolutely. But education that's age appropriate for your kids. And I think when it comes to us learning something new and recognizing that we screwed up, it's so important for our soul, for our heart, and for our overall health and well-being that we take some action toward atonement or rectifying the circumstances. Like I said before, Gen X's are like, oh crap, we have to apologize to our kids now and make it right. That's exactly the truth. Because if us as parents are supposed to teach or guide our kids and we're misinforming them, we have to tell them, ooh, I got new information. That's fucked up. We don't want that anymore. Here's the new information that I'm sorry I didn't learn that shit when you kids were little. I'm sorry, but I didn't have the information then. We have it now.
Thank you for that testimony of that statement, Bubble Kittens. I did just that, and we are closer now.
Beautiful.
Teaching your kids accountability for your actions, that helps to break generational karma.
Right.
Because so many of our parents, and I'm not And if my mother happens to watch this, I'm not trying to call her or my father out, but so
You can
many
call
of
mine out.
us. I'll call out the assholes that raised her. So.
But they're lovely. They're not. They're not. They're
No, they're
beautiful.
not, and neither am I.
They're ignorance. That's all. It's generational ignorance because of lack of information and lack of understanding that there's other things out there aside from your beliefs. They lack the capacity to be open. That's
Right.
the other understanding. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's okay. I mean, once you realize number 4 agreement, do your best, and number 2 agreement, don't take things personally. Both of these work hand in hand when it comes to recognizing the generational trauma and karma that you're bringing forward that you need to hold yourself accountable for. And once you recognize that you can, and the difference that it makes in your relationships with your children and beyond, it's astronomical.
I think, thank you. Thank you for that. And I'm reading the comments as best I can. And I'm seeing that a lot of us have had dysregulated homes. A lot of us had unstable and volatile homes because nobody knew what emotional regulation was. So all of them were very angry and bitter. And alcoholism is a big deal for a lot of people because it's pushed out there in society as the norm in so many ways. GZ's are laugh. Okay, which one? What did you say?
The cheerleading comment. My mom did cheerleading cheers in the kitchen to wake us up. I may have preferred the yelling.
Oh, Lunaria, that's funny. My mother woke us up with a vacuum cleaner at 6 a.m. Does that count as?
My mother woke me up from the doorway because I swung once at her. So, so she'd be like, "Time to get up. You're awake."
I'm seeing the common theme of nervous system survival mode because
Yes.
that's all like shocking to the system every day to have that volatility. And that's why I say at the core of breaking these generational curses and generational habits is you learning emotional regulation and learning how to regulate your own nervous system and responding differently in situations. That's what we'll call passive aggressive, Diane.
It's also what we call parents giving up because their kids won't get up any other way, so they get creative.
Yes. Yes.
That doesn't fall into, abusive lines. I mean, doing cheers from a kitchen is not abusive. It's you didn't get up any other way.
Well, here's the thing. It becomes abuse when it's intentionally done in a way that's meant to shock your system. Only in those times, that's not what was considered abuse. The only thing that was considered abuse for generations and generations and generations was physical abuse, but only to a certain degree because husbands were legally allowed to beat their wives. In some states, they might still be. I have to check and see on that one, but I'm not sure everyone's changed their laws because all the states have their own laws. So husbands had permission to beat their wives and their children. So like times were different and we have new intel now. We have new ways of living and being and new ways of thinking and doing. Passive aggressive is not in vogue anymore. It's just not.
Although still common.
It's very, very common. And passive aggressiveness is toxic. It's toxic because it's not sincere and there's resentment, anger, and frustration underneath it. And it's a stab, not productive at all. So we're heading into a world of more productive, effective, and efficient whilst maintaining kindness and compassion kind of communication, kind of child rearing.
Right.
That's, I feel like we don't have to get so worried about the generational habits moving forward with us. I think if we focus on what it is that we need to unlearn, we can move forward with consistency and hope and with a brighter future for ourselves. And it's a continuous journey of unlearning and relearning. We just need compassion for ourselves to let it happen in a healthy way, I should say.
I mean, I can give an example of my dad, because through martial arts, he learned how to regulate his own energy and moods. Did he stay walled off most of his life? But when it came to discipline, because, and I didn't know this until post-mortem, but because he was abused as a child and made the decision to do things differently. Not that he didn't want to be like his parents. He made a different decision. So when it came time to, yes, he still used a belt, but he would not react. He would calm down first, and it would be a responsive. Now, corporal punishment, being smacked with a belt, no go today. However, just the sheer fact that he was conscious enough of his own anger and rage that he would not until it was a response. And let me tell you, it got the point across.
Yeah.
And it didn't take much.
I feel like you pointed out something that is very important and key. And a lot of the habits of old are all fear-based. And that's the difference. We're moving into an era of no more fear-based BS. Let's take people into consideration. Let's take how we affect people into consideration. Let's find new ways to accomplish the same goal and shift our mindsets so that we can hold space for our own growth and evolution. And we're in a very different time now. So
Oh yeah, definitely. Because the waiting period, because I would be sent to my room to wait until he calmed down. That was fear. That was more fearful than the whack.
we got the wait till your father comes home.
Mine was so much worse because it was wait until I calmed down. And that could be anywhere from a half hour until 5 hours later. And I'd be sitting there in my room pacing in my mind going, oh God. Keep in mind,
Yeah.
it was also prison-based mindset because he was a police officer. So having to wait trial was something he was quite good at.
Yeah.
And it helped to get the point across and made me think about my actions a little bit more. Is that a no-go today? Well, who knows? Because when we give a child the opportunity to sit and think about their actions, without external social media, and they just have to sit and think on their own. What did I do? How can I do this differently? And beginning to teach them that from an earlier age so that they can begin to start to claim accountability for their actions, think about, and not just go back and forth as if you're arguing with a friend who just dated your boyfriend and trying to one-up each other, going back and forth. Because I listen to a lot of arguments between parents and their older kids. And that's what I see, is the constant, you're not validating what I'm hearing, you're not listening to what I'm hearing, and it just keeps going and perpetuating. So in that instance, I think it's situationally based, but at the same time trying not to fall into a fear-based situation.
And I think that doing age appropriate and stage appropriate communication is important for you to learn, because not every stage and age of a child is going to have the capacity, because its brain is still developing and the frontal lobe ain't going to show up until their 20s or 30s. Right. And that's the part that deals with consequences. So a child cannot biologically even discern consequences of their actions. So your guidance is key to assisting the child to learn verbally, but most importantly, children are monkey see, monkey do at most of the growing up ages. It's monkey see, monkey do. They need modeled for them because they're watching you and they're duplicating you, which is why our children are the reasons why we evolve, because there are little mirrors going around acting like we are, and we're like, ew.
While you're on that point, and I've told a lot of my reading clients this very thing when they would talk about how their children are just out of control. I'm like, what did I just tell you about you? Now I want you to look at what I just told you and look at how they're acting in that moment. And then I want you to think about the times that you are not thinking this and you're not feeling this and how they're behaving around you then. They pick up on your emotions, your moods, your tones, and they act accordingly.
Right. Your job as a parent is to co-regulate your child so that you help their nervous system react, calm down and bring them to a state of being centered before you can continue with whatever the lesson might be. If they pour out the entire jug of milk onto the floor, in their mind, depending on the age, they're like, oh, let me see what happens if, oh, look at how pretty. Ooh, look at the white streak. That looks so pretty. Like, they're not thinking of the disastrous mess they're creating. That is not where they're at. So the old paradigm is to crucify them for that, which is incredibly toxic, because now the kid is afraid to actually express themselves outwardly and explore their own curiosity. Instead, in situations now, today, with the knowledge that we have available to us, we can learn how to manage that situation in a way that fosters their curiosity by asking questions like, oh, what made you decide to do that? There are different things at different stages to not snuff the spirit of that poor child like we were all snuffed out, okay? Because that's at the end of the day, the old paradigm snuffs you out.
And I wonder how many people watching or hearing this, whether live or otherwise, are thinking, well, if you're not beating that child's ass, then that's just bad parenting, and shame on you for not correcting them and getting onto them for wasting that milk. And oh my God, all the cleanup, that must have been terrible for you.
It's
Call
a child.
it like I hear it, guys. Because, yeah, how many people in that instance, in that scenario that she just painted for you in your mind's eye, where you walk into the kitchen and you see your child with a gallon of milk watching the white stream come down onto the floor that you get to clean up. And I want to know how many of you immediately had an internal reaction without even being in that room of, fuck, I gotta clean that up.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of, oh, what were we discovering?
Mm-hmm.
And this type of thinking ain't normal.
No. My son, can I share a funny, because I guess we're going to talk about kids and whatever today. That seems to be where this is heading, but
at least for now, yeah.
Funny anecdote, children. My son was 2, and of course, we as parents, when we have to go to the bathroom, we do not close the door because the 2-year-old. Now, at that time, my view was of the bedroom door, and the bedroom door, I could see the hinge crack, the door on the hinge, and then the wall, the molding. You could see through that small little crack. And what I could see was my 2-year-old with a crayon in their hand, staring at me. And me, no, don't you dare touch that wall. They don't know he literally stared at me with this blank stare. Like, what is she trying to say to me? I can see this through the crack happening. And he's looking at me like, what are you talking about? I don't understand. Because they're just playing and exploring and expressing and discovering and curious. That's it. That's all they're trying to do. They have no idea about the big world out there. They have no clue. We do. Our parents demanded that us as children knew exactly what adulting was like and what adults do and everything that adults know. We were anticipated to be 40 years old at the age of 3.
Yep.
That's literally how we were treated. So you're already breaking the generational habits by even being on this platform. You're already shattered everything that, you could possibly have learned at this point, and you're still continuing to learn and evolve with your kids. My kids are in their 20s now. I'm still trying to figure it the fuck out with my kids. We're in the repair stage. And I'm simultaneously repairing myself. It's one hell of a journey. And we're traumatized as children and grow up being traumatized. And now we're traumatized parents. And we're being traumatized because we're also traumatizing ourselves with the guilt and the shame that we carry for not doing it right. First of all, they don't come with instructions, and every child is different, but the human condition and the developmental stages are the same for everybody. So that translates to regulate your nervous system, learn how to regulate your emotions, learn the developmental stages, learn how to communicate and foster that curiosity in a healthier, less messy way for yourself. And allow yourself to shift and make new memories instead of having that old paradigm run the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for those who aren't parents, we should probably talk to them for a little bit.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to bring workforce before, because it's a whole different mentality. Folks who don't have kids and, maybe their generational trauma created like work-related trauma.
I mean, there's the generational that you have to go to school to train for a vocation. And if you don't go to school, you're going to fail in life. Tony Robbins. There's my example. Tony Robbins. He didn't go to college. Now, has he attended classes a lot since? Oh, yeah. But there's so many people in this world who don't choose vocational schooling to do their careers, and how many go into a college and don't use the training that they paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for, because they get done with it and they're so fucking overloaded and bored with everything that they had to learn. I don't want to do that anymore. At least not right now. And then they go and they do something else in the interim just to take a fucking break from it. And then they never go back. Meanwhile, the parents are in the background. I can vouch for this one, because every once in a while I'll hear my parents' voice in my head. I really miss you being on stage. Hello, what am I doing?
It's a different stage, but you're on stage.
And whether they actually said that or not, or I'm gaslighting myself, hello, this is where the generational trauma has its impact, is that gaslighting that goes on in your head. Hearing your parents of your parents' voice in things that you do, whether it be in your job, in your relationships, in the parenting skills, and how you choose to do things. It's that gaslighting that goes on in your head. Well, you should be doing it this way instead. Stop shoulding on yourself. It's making a mess.
Well, there's still a lot of shooting everywhere when it comes to our parents and the older generation telling us the way things are supposed to be. I mean, like, listen, even our finances. For years, I had the financial advisor that my father used. This so outdated. So basically, my stuff was set up like I was old and retired. Instead of that would be more appropriate for my life stage. You know, like, you can't carry over anything from the past. I want you to give yourself a clean slate and a blank slate, because even the college thing, I hear what you're saying, and I lived it, because the only reason why I went to college is because my parents had American friends who were insistent that the girls had to go to college too. Then after college, it was, okay, get back in the kitchen. And that degree sat on in a drawer somewhere or something for decades until it came out a few years ago. It's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the old mentality.
That's misogyny at its nauseous.
Yeah, I know. Well, so we'll continue that conversation on the Bloom on Monday at 11 o'clock. Shameless plug there, but it fit.
Yeah, dude. If the boomers wear it, you know. Fit.
But there are, it's almost like give yourself a clean slate. You know, like that Etch-a-Sketch thing. We just do the magnet thing and erase everything that's on there. You get a blank slate. You decide what fits your life. You decide how many boundaries to set with those who are shooting on you consistently. And you decide what's healthy for your family. For me, I coexisted with my parents in the same household for many, many years. So there was a lot of me playing the firewall so that their words did not reach my children. So I instead tried to balance their desires with what I wanted the kids to experience differently. And it was just a tug of war. So nothing was productive on either side because there was no balance. When you have those shooting on you in ways that are so persistent and insistent, as if that's the only thing that's correct, when you know that's crap. And then having to make both sides, you know, comfortable and come up with something new without any information for that new stuff to be in your space. Because don't forget too, when our kids were little, and we had a different opportunity to show them something different, we also didn't have the internet like we have it right now. I think folks tend to forget just how new this is. We had a flip phone all the way through the earlier 2000s. This access to information at your fingertips on the scale that it is today is still very, very new. It's a blessing to have what we have now available to us. People like us telling you, like,
Yeah.
you know, on a TV, on a screen. We didn't have that.
That most of you are holding in your hand.
Right. We had somebody making a speech on some news show at the end of the night. That's it. And church. It's just way off.
That's another generational trauma and karma that a lot of people are dealing with and trying to move beyond, is that they, while they want to respect the traditions of the parents of the parents of the parents and staying with these certain religious beliefs because they don't want to cause any, problems.
Right.
But at the same time, everything that they're hearing, everything that they're seeing and being taught, it's like, wait a minute,
Hmm.
this doesn't resonate. And then having to step into their authenticity and their own accountability for it not resonating and it being a toxic thing in their life, regardless of what faith it is or religious belief, that if it doesn't resonate with your life, leave. And if you're watching your parents and how they interact with their own belief system, and you can tell if it doesn't work for them, because 6 days out of the week, they're acting one way, and then they get in the car to go to church, and for that 1.5 hours that they're sitting in those pews or wherever they're sitting, they're completely different people, and and you're like, who are you? Do what they couldn't. Resonate. Align with what you will align with. Another aspect of the generational karmic debt. Continuing to align with things you don't believe in.
Right. Give yourself permission to choose for yourself what resonates fully and completely with you. And give yourself permission to enact different behaviors and thought patterns that won't resonate with your family and whoever is shooting on you. I wanted to add that I know that a lot of folks feel this sense of obligation to show some sort of respect to those individuals that brought you into this world and raised you up. And that means that requires you to be loyal to what their wishes are and do as you're told kind of energy still exists and all that stuff. Something that I adopted in communicating differently with my parents and setting boundaries with my parents is just flat out saying stuff like, that's not resonant, that doesn't work for me. I don't agree with that mindset, and that doesn't work today in this day and age. I'm doing things differently and it's healthier, and I'm okay with it. If you're not okay with it, that's okay with me. And they stopped eventually, but it took a few years of repeating different variations of what I just said to them for them to just kind of understand that I'm not gonna acquiesce to what their needs are. That put me in a category of she's dishonoring the family and we're ashamed of who she is and what she is. Meanwhile, I'm love and compassion in their dark ages, but in their mind, they don't have the capacity to understand this.
Right.
This is foreign information to them. It's not that they're horrible people who wish bad upon me. There's genuine love. My parents love me. I know they do. They really genuinely love me, but their capacity to understand what love is very, very, very different.
Yeah.
There needs to be that understanding there at that, and there needs to be the feeling okay with being dishonored, just the one who, the scapegoat, the black sheep, whatever the heck. You have to make peace with that, because I know there's pieces here where you want your family and parents to be proud of you. You want to hear that validation that they accept you. You want to hear the validation that they're good with you. You may never get it. They don't have the capacity for that. I mean, that's something that I think that the more you are comfortable with who you are, the less you seek their approval, right? The more you understand you're okay with how you decided to move forward because your life is more peaceful the way you decide to do things. That's okay. You're okay. Keep doing that. You have to make peace with not getting their approval. I think that's part of this whole process,
Yeah.
right?
And I am looking at the time and honoring everyone's time.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I am hearing that we are going to continue this next week. We're going to continue this conversation, and Can I Be the Last? We'll have a part 2. So I invite everybody who is, if you're seeing the replay in time and you're part of the Rise Awakenings community chat, to bring into the conversation there other things that you would like us to focus in on, for us to think about between now and next week. And we will continue the conversation more next week, because there's so much more. We could go on until 8, 9 o'clock tonight and still not cover it all, because other facets are just going to find their way to sneak into the conversation. So we're going to go ahead, and it'll give me a break from having to create another song and video. So
Can I just say, Mike has been working very, very hard on all of this, Rise Awakenings, Rise Radio, and every little tiny detail that has to happen to make this all the shows on this radio station where it is. And so thank you, Micah, for all your efforts and dedication and amazing, amazing work that the fruits of your labor are appreciated immensely. And I know we all enjoy, I could speak for everybody when I say I know we all enjoy what you create and what you guys have created in this space. So thank you.
you're welcome, and thank you for acknowledging that. I truly appreciate that. So let's do our usual real quick. Hopefully I set it up right this time. Is it going to show it? Come on, show. Right there. Wait. What are you doing?
Psych.
Hi. There it is.
There it is. That goes directly to my
You
booking.
made my eyes sweat. I'm sorry. I couldn't see.
That goes directly to my booking site, and you can find me on all the social medias as well. And please join us for a continued conversation on misogyny on Monday. And I invite the male voices in here because we've all been negatively affected by the misogynistic patriarchy. So go ahead and get your thoughts together and get ready for the bloom on Monday. But I can't wait for tomorrow's The Core, because I want to hear what these cards are going to tell us.
And everybody send out your positive vibes to Carrie Lunaria so that she maintains power through this ice storm that's coming through, because I ain't doing the show if it ain't going to be the three of us. So let's all send out those positive vibes so that she keeps the power and the internet going. All right.
Yeah.
Not to mention her own safety, because it's supposed to get nasty. And anybody who's in the South this week, please take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
Watch the weather patterns, and prepare for it, because this is the coldest you might have ever experienced if you didn't grow up in the North.
Yeah.
And if you want to reach out to me, here's how, and you can just follow that link. I have to make a few adjustments. I did get the feedback that I've been waiting for on that, and not having to create a song next week will give me the opportunity to be able to work on that a little bit. But thank you guys for tuning in, all your comments, the live chat. Thank you so much. Replay, thank you as well. If you have any comments that you'd like to put into the comment section below, please feel free. We will take a look at them, get back to you, and all of the links that we just shared QR codes with are in the description below. And don't forget to click that subscription bell and the notification bell so you know when we're coming back on. And until next week.
Yeah. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
We will see you in the morning for the core.
Yes.
7 a.m. Eastern.
Thank you.
And one more time.
us are born, taught what we see, how to feel, how to act, how to keep it real. And the difference between love and scorn, old traditions to the values they hold dear. A cycle never breaks, show respect and fear. Told how to be, how to love, blaming their direction on the one above. Can they be blamed for what they couldn't see? There was a different, better way to be. Can I be guided away from the tears? Generational scars that brought so many tears. Can I break the mold from the parents of the past? Cut it off, wanna stop, can I be the last? Under all the racket, couldn't hear my own voice, mimicking the rules, echoing the noise. The rules I never felt of the parents of the parents. Do I have another choice? Yeah. Caught in the moment of giving old advice, borrowed their reactions, paid in a heavy price. I had to stop, go inside. What am I learning if all I do is hide? Hands raised high, but my heart stayed low. Reciting the script I swore I'd never know. Can I be guided away from the tears? Generational scars that brought so many tears. Can I break the mold from the parents of the past? Cut it off, wanna stop, can I be the last? Forget about the blame, can't rewrite the past. Choose when to pause, don't let the anger last. Learn to wait, go inside, to listen to who you are. No need to hide. One moment away, cover clearing all the one breath at a time. Can I be guided away from the tears? Generational scars that brought so many tears. Can I break the mold from the parents of the past? Cut it off, wanna stop, can I be the last? It's Brindlewolf and Diane, so listen up if you can. Yeah, journey with them today as they help you find your way. Oh, mental wellness is the topic of the hour. Mental health and the power to tap into our alignments will lead to our refinements. Phoenix Talk, a show like you've never seen. Phoenix Talks, awareness that has never been. Phoenix Talks with Brindlewolf and Diane. Phoenix Talks, so tune